Good morning, beautiful souls, and welcome to week 1 of the Shadow Work Workshop. I'm going to go over a couple things with you guys. I've been called to pull a card for the collective too for this week. So let's start. So all of you should have gotten your Shadow Work workbook. This is what we're going to mainly be using for our workshop. So I'm going to read the introduction to you guys so you feel it in my voice. Welcome to the shadows. Hey babe, if you're holding this journal, that means you were guided here, not by accident, not by coincidence, by alignment. This is your call to go deep and meet yourself in the dark corners, to let the truth breathe, and to stop running from parts of you that are begging to be loved, not fixed. Shadow work isn't about being healed or perfect, it's about wholeness. It's about owning every messy, beautiful, wild part of you and saying, I still deserve love. Over the next 6 weeks, you are going to face things that might sting a little, but that's how we alchemize pain into power. You'll write, you'll cry, you might rage, release, or laugh until you snort. It's all medicine. Every tear, every breakthrough, every quiet breath is you coming home to yourself. So light your candle, get comfy, breathe. This isn't a test, it's a reacclimation. Each week we'll move through prompts, rituals, and gentle integrations to help you peel back the layers and remember the real you. The one who existed before the world told you who to be. Be soft with yourself. That's very, very important. Be very gentle with yourself through this whole process. Lots of feelings are going to come to the surface and lots of realizations are going to come to the surface. Make sure you're gentle with yourself. Super important. Now, where was I? Be messy, be honest. Honesty is super important now. You're not being judged. You're not being graded. Nobody but you has to read this. So make sure you are truly honest with everything that you're writing down in your journal and everything that you're bringing to light. There is no wrong way to heal, only your way. When emotions rise, let them. When silence comes, listen. You're safe here, you're seen, and you're doing the brave work that most people never dare to do. So here's your permission slip to feel it all, to release, to rise, and to remember. Your shadow is not your enemy, it's your map home. With so much love, light, and a little bit of fire, Casey Lynn. Alright, so week 1, we're going to start with this page. There's 2 pages for each week. This one we're doing, what parts of myself do I try to hide or fix? What traits in others trigger me the most and why? When was the last time I felt judged or misunderstood, and how did I respond? The ritual for this week is write your name 3 times, claiming all versions of you as whole, worthy, and beautiful. Fold the paper 3 times towards yourself. Place under your shadow work candle. If you do not have your shadow work candle yet for this week, a plain white candle is fine. It can be a scented candle. It can be whatever. Whatever candle is fine. The reason why we're using candles in this workshop is because working with fire helps alchemize more, and it also aids in a quicker healing, quicker integration, if that makes sense. That's why we work with fire. Okay. Light your candle and sit with it lit for as long as you feel called to. Allow your paper to sit there for a few hours to overnight, then either burn it and return the ashes to the earth or bury the paper. You can do either or. If you don't feel comfortable burning the paper, that's fine. Bury it somewhere in your yard. An integration practice. This is what after you do all of these things, this is what you're going to take with you through the week, okay? Integration. Notice when judgment of self or others shows up this week. Acknowledge it and your feelings, how you've processed these feelings differently this week, and since what? How have you processed these feelings differently this week than in the past? So the reason why we're doing that is to see what part of ourselves is healing. So the reason why we're examining self this week, and I did write myself a little notes here because I'm not the greatest at speaking in public. So we're doing self-projection and observing our triggers this week. So the shadow is a lot of undesirable traits that we see in ourselves, and those undesirable traits make us judge others harshly and judge ourselves harshly. We also project those things onto other people with our judgments, and that's why we're examining them this week, to bring them to the surface and understand why. The whole thing about shadow work is going to your root cause. I'm sorry if this offends anybody or triggers anybody, but it's very much like Western medicine, okay? In Western medicine, we take a lot of pills. Those pills are treating our symptoms, okay? They're not going to the root cause of our issues. It's like taking an ibuprofen because, oh, my back hurts. But you're not treating why your back hurts. You're only treating the symptoms of that back pain. Make sense? That's what shadow work is. It's actually going to the root cause and healing those things, okay? Also, super important with shadow work, our shadow self also is a lot of hidden good things. Things that we've repressed because of societal norms, because of judgment from others, because of the feeling of inadequacy or not being worthy. These could be talents, desires, they could be just things that you love that you hide because you don't want to be judged for loving those things, or maybe those things are kind of weird. For example, me doing bone art like I used to do, which I actually stopped, I don't know why. I have always loved it, like the beauty of the skeletal system and the beauty of animals. And working with bones and skeletons and pieces of animal, people are like, ew, you're weird. There's things stuck under my nail. That's so weird. But what I am doing is giving beauty back to those things that have passed away. So it's not weird. It might not be for everybody, but it doesn't make me weird. There's nothing wrong with me for wanting to do those things. And that goes for all aspects of our lives. It could be the way you dress, the way you do your makeup, the way you do your hair, some weird quirks that you have. I say weird, but they're not weird, they're you. These are all types of things that are repressed into our shadow self. And that's why we're taking these things and bringing them to light. And the reason to do shadow work is for a greater self-awareness of yourself as a whole. Finding your authentic self and living with your authentic self. Compassion for yourself, compassion for others. Sometimes when we're living in our shadow, we don't have a lot of compassion, especially for ourselves. We're seriously hard on ourselves, and that's not okay. It's okay to want more for yourself, but to be like your own worst critic, that's not good. That's not good at all, because you're constantly beating yourself down, and there's no reason to do that. And another big one is healing as a whole. Like I said, going back to that root cause and those root things, you want to heal as a whole. You don't only want to heal symptoms of yourself or little parts of yourself. You want to heal yourself whole to be your best, most authentic self. This week also, pay attention to dreams. Well, not just this week, throughout this whole process. Pay attention to dreams, because a lot of our stuff will come to us in dreams, and understanding how we're healing the layers of ourselves, like peeling back the onion. You might get some things in dreams. If you have a dream and you're not sure how to interpret it or something like that, just message me. And I am here for you through this whole process. Remember that. The only day that I ask that I have my own peace is Sundays, because that is my family day. I will upload everything on Sundays, but other than that, I just asked for peace on Sundays. But other than that, I'll be here for you through this whole process. Just message me. If you want a quicker response, DM me for my phone number if you don't already have it. Texting me is probably the easiest, because sometimes Facebook Messenger is stupid, and I don't always get my messages right away. So with that being said, I'm going to pull a card for today. And then also, if you have not gotten your candle yet, I have one that I need to ship. You are more than welcome to pick them up here at any time. If I am away, perfect. If I am away, these are good ones. If I'm away at class, I will leave it on the porch for you to pick up. My availability for meetups and stuff like that is very slim. I have clients that I'll be working with, and I am a full-time student as well. That's why I'm doing it this way, so everybody can work at their own pace, because I know lives get crazy. I'm living proof of that. Okay, so the card that we pulled today is Giraffe Spirit, See the Bigger Picture, and she was in reverse. Then on the bottom of the deck we have Dragonfly Spirit in reverse, Transcend Illusion, and we also have Porcupine Spirit, Time for a Beginner's Mind. If these are not all perfect cards for our start here, babe, I don't know what is. So, Giraffe Spirit, like I said, going to the root cause, like seeing the bigger picture here, seeing ourselves out of this process and living as a whole authentic self. I can't wait. I can't wait till you guys are on the other side and you see how beautiful living with your shadow truly is. And just so you know, healing is not linear, okay? This isn't going to be a fast process. This isn't going to be a quick process. This isn't going to be a write in my journal and we're done process. You're going to have to work through things, okay? Shadow work is work. Work being the key word here. And there also is different aspects of shadow as well. So you might have to do shadow work 2-3 times throughout your whole lifetime to work on different aspects of yourself. But starting is the key. And I am so fucking proud of all of you for being here. I truly am. I truly am. All right. So then the other two, Porcupine Spirit, Time for a Beginner's Mind, and Dragonfly. I can't with this one. I can't. Truth transcends illusion. Our illusions are what we make for ourselves. Okay? The illusion that you're not worthy. The illusion that you're broken. The illusion that you're not authentic. We are transcending those illusions during these 6 weeks. We are smashing these goals and we are living in our authentic self. The truth that we are going to bring to the surface, we are going to alchemize that and turn that into our power, because that's what we're going to do here. And then Porcupine Spirit, Time for a Beginner's Mind. My legs are tingling. Time for a Beginner's Mind. Some of this might be very difficult for you guys if you had a lot of childhood trauma. Okay, so think about going to a beginner's mind, like childlike innocence, not having been jaded by all of these things, society, people in our lives, trauma. Go to a beginner's mind. Look at things fresh. Look at things with different perspectives. Yeah. I don't even know what else to say about that, to be honest. I love this for us. So what else did I need to say? This week, I'm going to be posting more information about shadow work, some videos that I watched while I was doing my shadow work that kind of helped explain things to me. Probably some reading information as well. And I don't want to post everything at once because I don't want to bombard you guys. So I'm going to post most of the stuff today, but I'm probably going to post stuff on Wednesday too to kind of get you halfway through. Like I said, I don't want to bombard you guys the first week because this is hard and this is going to bring a lot of stuff up to the surface. Also, I know I posted this before, but I'm going to say it again. Do not overwhelm yourself, okay? Go week by week. If you want to read ahead, that's fine, but don't do like 3 weeks of work in one day because you fell behind. Just extend your 6 weeks. You know what I'm saying? If you're doing that, if you're cramming like everything into one day, it's like cramming for finals. You know what I'm saying? You're not absorbing it, you're not processing it, you're literally just doing the work. And doing the work and not processing or feeling your feelings or really diving deep is not going to do you any good, okay? And then also, reminder, you guys get a mini card reading and a chakra alignment and aura cleansing with this. Your choice whether you want to do it in the beginning, middle, or at the end of your process. Totally up to you. 100% do your thing. Just let me know when you want to do that. And then what else? I'm also throwing around the idea at the end of the 6 weeks doing a like group meet. It's probably going to be through Google Meet. That way a bunch of us can be together in one area. We don't have to fight with schedules, travel time, any of that stuff. Just let me know if you guys want to do that. Feel very Monty Burns when I do this. I think that is it. I think so. Also, last thing, if any of you are really struggling through this whole process, I am also a Reiki master, so if you feel you need a Reiki session, you can reach out to me for that as well. So I think that's it for the introduction and the start of this week. I will post this. I think I'm also going to do, I did a really good guided meditation the other week. No, it was like Monday. I think I'm going to post that as well. And then next week I will be doing my own guided meditation. Yeah. So that's it, guys. I love you. I am so excited for you. I can't wait to see you guys on the end of this. And like I said, any help that you need, I am here for you 100% through this whole process, okay? Don't feel afraid to reach out to me anytime. Just not on Sundays if you don't mind. Also, with that being said, if you have like an emergency and you're like not doing well, reach out to me on a Sunday. It's fine. I just ask that if it's not an emergency, I have my own time for my family. All right, I love you guys. I wish you well, and I will talk to you soon.